Hello everybody, welcome to Exploring with Cindy and Dan. Today we are at the Enchanted Forest Theme Park in Turner, Oregon. We will explore the entire park, so join us in this amazing adventure. Enchanted Forest opened this year for spring break and weekends in April and May, Memorial Day and weekends for the first half of June, and then every day starting June 15 until Labor Day and weekends in September, and their last day of the season will be September 29th. They open at 10:30 a.m. and check their calendar for closing times. You can buy your tickets at the entrance of the park, but you can pre-purchase your admission tickets for a discounted price online. We booked our admission tickets online and we paid $21 for senior and children and $24 for adult. The rides are not included with your admission ticket. Ride tickets are $1 each and they are usually 3 to 5 tickets per ride. And the parking is free. As we notice, it is always better to arrive when the park opens to avoid the crowd, especially in the summer months, as it can get hotter in the afternoons. Depending on your family and what they want to do, you can easily spend the entire day in the park. The history of Enchanted Forest is similar as the Disney World one. In the 60s, Roger Tofte, a father of 4, realized that there was very little to do for his family in Salem, Oregon. So he had the idea to build a theme park where a family could spend time together doing fun stuff. He purchased the original 20 acres of land off of Interstate 5 for $4,000 and began construction in 1964. Apparently, everyone thought the idea of a theme park in Oregon was not a bright idea, and close to the opening, they needed $2,000 for the final touches to the park, and they ran out of money. Nobody would lend them the money, but one bank took the chance on them and loaned them the money. After 7 years, they finally opened the park to the public on August 8, 1971. The admission ticket was $1 for adult and 50 cents for children. There were 75 people the first day and 1,000 people the next Sunday. Roger's dream was finally a reality. In 1964, the pumpkin for Peter Pumpkin Eater was the first structure Roger built on premises. In 1968, the castle and entrance building were some of the last structures to be built before opening the park. Roger's thinking was that they were very visible to the public, being so close to the road and with no security. He wanted to wait as long as he could to build these structures. The original 1971 Humpty Dumpty exited the park in 2014, and Roger, at the age of 84, had to reconstruct the park icon from scratch. This second Humpty Dumpty was completed, and words were added to the wall saying, "All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again, but Roger Tofte did." Through the years, Roger and his family have been adding new items into the park. The Tofteville Western Town was built the second year, and the Haunted House opened in 1974. The Ice Mountain Bobsled roller coaster was originally designed in 1983 as a roller coaster that floated along a 24 inches wide fiberglass track, but redesigned 2 years later. Then construction began on the All Europe Village with the Jolly Roger Waterlight Show in 1988. The original plan for the Waterlight Show in the All European Village was to create a restaurant for one of the daughters to hold musical performances, but as the hillside was excavated, they realized that it could be a great place for waterfalls. So now the stage is the dazzling waterlight shows of the waterfalls. It took 2 years to finish this project, but it was amazing. The park is divided into multiple sections. The Storybook Lane is the first section of the park. You enter the park through the castle, then you will crawl through Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole and slide down the old lady who lived in the shoe slide. You can enter the witch castle through her mouth, as you saw in the video, and slide out her hair. The Storybook Lane is the area that contains most of Roger's original creations, featuring many childhood nursery favorites. An employee was telling us about the COVID-19 season at the park. At the time when they wanted to reopen for the year, the park had to remain closed. And when the park finally reopened safely, the Oregon government only allowed 250 people inside, including employees. So it was a tough year for them. He was telling us that in order to survive, they auctioned some items from the park and also opened a GoFundMe page to save the park, and they were able to save almost $500,000 that helped them survive until 2021. Then in 2021, the ice storm happened in Oregon. A severe storm swept through the park, causing a loss of trees and damaged buildings and infrastructure in the park. But after months of cleanup, they were able to reopen for the season on a later month, back in 2021. The Toftville Western Town is where the Old West comes alive. You can play and try your shooting skills at the shooting gallery or remote control boats. You can walk into the haunted house and then continue up the hill for pan for treasure. And at the end of the hill, you will see the big timber log ride that you don't want to miss. Enchanted Forest Park has multiple rides for children and adults. For example, the Big Timber Log Ride is a $5 ride. You must be 40 inches to ride with an adult, or 48 inches you can ride alone. Remember that you might get wet, and they sell ponchos for $3 at the gift shop. You will float through an old logging mill and up in the trees to end in a 40-foot drop to a spectacular splashdown. The Ice Mountain Bobsled Roller Coaster is another $5 ride, and you must be 34 inches to ride. It is standing 100 feet tall with 1,600 feet of track. The Ice Mountain Bobsled was the first ride to open in the park in 1983. The ride is 2.5 minutes long and has plenty turns, drops, and bunny hoops. The Challenge of Mondor is a mile ride that costs $5, and it is an interactive target shooting adventure ride. You must be 34 inches to ride with an adult or 42 inches to ride alone. There are multiple restaurants and snack areas in the park, but due to staff issues, they encourage people to bring their own food, because the food areas might not be able to be full staffed, and this might result in longer lines at times, especially in summer. This is Ma and Pa's barbecue restaurant in the Toftville Western Village. It was open and the food looked great. Some of the food vendors in the park are Jolly Roger in the free waterfall show, Gretel's Grill that will be open most days, and Ma's and Pa's barbecue that you just saw. It opens depending upon staff. And the ice cream parlors and Mary's Coffee's Cottage are open most days, but also depending on staff. The Challenge of Mondor was added in 2006. This is a beautiful, slow-moving adventure ride Mondor, the wizard, sends riders on a quest through the forest, caves, and castles to save the happy little drumlings. Riders will use infrared guns to fight the creatures of the dark and the dragons of the Black Draco, under the control of an evil villain, King Zardon. Cars keep riders' individual scores just like the Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin at Disney World. And top scores of the day receive a medallion, and top scores of all time get their name engraved on a plaque at the Mondor entrance. We are now walking uphill to the Big Timber Log Ride. Several years after the completion of the all-European village, the log ride was finally opened to the public in 1996. Several kiddie rides were added after 1996, like the kiddie bumper boat, the kiddie Ferris wheel, and the frog hopper. In 2002, they added the crazy bumpers cars, where adults can participate in this ride as well as children. At the end of the day, my sister rode the train with her daughter, and I rode the Ferris wheel with her. It was so much fun, and she really enjoyed it. If I didn't mention it before, we brought with us my parents and my sister and her daughter, and we all had so much fun. The carousel is a $3 ride, and children under 42 inches tall must ride with an adult. This is the entrance of the haunted house. It is a $4 visit. Ages 2 and under are free. You will walk through 3 floors of the unknown, so expect the unexpected. Now we are heading to the entrance of the Ice Mountain bobsled roller coaster. This is the entrance of the old European village. All around the village, you will see animatronics. They were designed by Roger's son, who brought the world of animatronics into the Enchanted Forest. He was the one who designed and built all the animatronics that you see today. Once you're here, you will feel that you step back in time in the old European village, that is home of the indoor target shooting ride challenge of Mondor. You can relax and grab a bite in the fantasy fountains, the water light show, or you can walk across the streets and listen to the Irish musical show in the summer afternoons. Here in this area is where you can explore Pinocchio's playhouse or watch the perpetual motion machine of Sir Isaac Newton's gravity factory, where silver spheres move through a maze of contractions. You can sit back and watch the Blackbird Pie show as well.
Thank you. Please stop, you're too kind. That song will be on my next album. Well, at least on Mum and Dad's family album.
This is Geppetto's Toys, Treasures, and Trinket Shops. It was amazing. Here is where we bought a very cute t-shirt for our niece. You can find mugs, cups, t-shirts, bracelets, dolls, stuffed animals, and many different souvenirs items of the Enchanted Forest Theme Park. Across from the Geppetto's shops, you will find the Fantasy Fountains Water Light Show. You can relax while watching a beautiful, dazzling water and light show. It was created, as I mentioned before, in 1988 with music and choreography of Susan, the daughter of Roger. This water show has 359 water jets, and it is located in the old European village, Jolly Roger Inn. This show repeats every 15 minutes, so you can watch it at any time during your visit to the park. There is indoor seating, and just outside the theater, you can grab a bite of pizza, snacks, popcorn, a soda, and bring it inside the theater. In 2015, Susan, the director of the theater, was late one morning and she was told that the actors had been singing Irish songs to warm up. Since she just returned herself from Ireland, she asked them to sing the Irish songs for her, so she immediately formed a band with members of the theater. The band has now 4 CDs and a strong presence in YouTube, and they perform also all over the West Coast, and still performs here daily at the Enchanted Forest. This is the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed it. We always wanted to stop at this theme park in the past, but we never had the chance to do it until today. It was very fun and very interesting. You will really like it. Please consider supporting us by subscribing to our channel with the notification bell on so you'll know when we'll have our next video of a new location in the world. Thank you.